Hey, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm here to talk about the future of Dying Light 2. Not hypotheticals or hopes, but information that has been confirmed by the franchise director himself. Now before we get into that, don't forget you can get 10% off any Gamersubs purchase using my code or my link in the description. 0 sugar, 0 calories, and damn it tastes good. Let's get into it. So 2 weeks ago, Timon Smektawa, the Dying Light franchise director, did an AMA on the Dying Light game subreddit, where people could ask whatever they wanted and he would reply. Now we got a lot of awesome info on what to expect in the coming months, so let's get into it. One person asked, will we be getting a weapon repair system as well as dynamic weather and a skybox update? Timon replied, weapon repair is a topic of hot debate in our office. So much of the Dying Light looting loop is built around constantly looking for new weapons, and there's a fear that it will break that loop significantly, but the Let's Do It faction here slowly gains in numbers, so who knows. As for the dynamic weather, yes, we have that on our list. I think we'll start with smaller changes, example making rain weather more visible and more frequent, and if it's not enough, we'll do a bigger pass on these systems. Now I found this very interesting. Weapon repairing has always been a very hot topic in the Dying Light community. People hate seeing their favorite weapons break, and having to do an Easter egg to be able to repair them is just stupid. Now the problem here is actually the existence of the Korek charm itself. What people fail to realize is that the game is designed in a way that you're never meant to be able to repair your weapons at all. The Korek charm gives people a false perception of how you're meant to play the game. I honestly believe that the devs should have either kept the Korek charm out of the game entirely so that the game can make proper use of crafting new weapons and experimenting with different weapon types, which is clearly how the game was meant to be played, or they should just make repairing weapons fully accessible like it is in Dead Island 2. The game unfortunately sits currently in a middle, in this sort of limbo state, and the problem that the game now has is that most players just get a really overpowered weapon that they love, and then they just infinitely repair it over and over with that Korek charm to use non-stop, which is cool and all, but now you're missing out on all of this other content in the forms of weapon types because you have no reason to go and use any other weapon. So they need to think of something, give us some reason to use a different weapon, and either make repairing better or just remove it entirely out of the game. Next question. Kai Shades asks, will Elysium make a comeback? Will executions be a feature in the future? And will Chapter 3 ever happen? Timon answers, difficult one. He says maybe to Elysium making a comeback, who knows to executions being a feature in the future, and I'd love to, even if the format will be different, to will Chapter 3 ever happen. He says, I know this may sound like I'm avoiding the answer, but I'm actually spilling more beans than I should. Now there's not that much to go off with this answer, but he clearly hasn't said a definite yes or a definite no for a reason. I take that as he doesn't want to confirm things just in case the answer does end up being a no, since he doesn't want to disappoint. But since he never said no, I'd wager that all 3 of these are a definite possibility in the future. Definitely not this year though. Next up we have The One Butter, who asked, can we expect a new roadmap? Timon said, of course, but don't expect anything to happen before the end of the summer holidays. We have some cool events and stuff ready for you in the hot months, and we'll reveal more about the future afterwards. Fathroth asks, will there be any DLC after the second one? Is the DLC 2 the last DLC of the game? Timon replies with, depends on demand. Would you like more? Of course, people replied to that saying, yes, we would love more. To me, this seems like the devs aren't super confident on the second DLC selling as well as they'd hoped, and haven't really planned on a third one just yet. Obviously, players would love a third DLC, but maybe Techland doesn't count on there being that many players willing to purchase it in the future. Klutzy asks, how about different weapon attack animations and strike combos? Timon responds, we did some updates in that regard. I think we'll be looking at our animations again soon, maybe adding some variants here and there. Don't think it's needed, but I will not complain about new animations being brought to the game. The Hunter asked, when will we see the Elysium map? Timon says, maybe at some point. He says, will we see Night Runner difficulty? Responded with, definitely. Then asked, will we see new chapters? Response, definitely on the table. And then finally asked, when will you share the new roadmap? The response we got is after the summer holidays. Now what I gather from this is that the Night Runner difficulty is 100% on the way. We will receive the new roadmap, of course, with confirmed updates after the summer holidays, and the new chapters are currently being discussed, but probably won't be releasing anytime super soon. Timon's response to the Elysium question is very interesting. No confirmation there, but they clearly understand how much people are wanting it, and I gather that they're willing to take a proper look at it after their current plans are complete. We can only hope. This establishment asked about cross-gen progression, something I know a lot of console players have been begging for. Timon gives good news by saying it's surprisingly complex, but we should have some good news to you in the not so distant future. Flying Lollipop then asks if there is a chance we will get a few touches on the combat AI. The combat of human enemies isn't always very good, and it can make it a bit unsatisfactory. Timon answers, yes, I'm aware. I think in one of the upcoming updates we'll do a bigger push to take our AIs, mostly humans, to a higher level, both in single player and in co-op. Now on the Reddit thread, there were a couple comments regarding one of the segments in the E3 gameplay reveal where a viral grabs Aiden on the leg while he is climbing. A bunch of people want this feature in the game, and apparently it almost made it into the game. LP Games asked, will the viral grabbing you on the leg shown in the E3 trailer make a return? And Timon said, we had this prototyped then, but it actually was so frustrating. It's a cool demo scene, but when you try and run and suddenly you're stopped without any control over it, it's a cool moment once, but not when it's a part of the system. We wanted to bring it back in Good Night, Good Luck update, but skipped that out for the reasons above. Honestly, I can imagine how goddamn annoying it would be, especially if you're near death or absolutely crushing some awesome parkour in an intense chase, but it would definitely be super cinematic for the first time that it happened. It did look awesome in the trailer, but I can't say I'm too mad about it not making the cut. Now Vlax asked, when should we expect the community ideas to be out there ready for being voted on by the community? And Timon confirmed within 2 to 3 weeks. I'm very excited about that. Seagull Chad asked, is Dying Light 3 even possible? Timon surprised me here by claiming that some people here tell him that they'd prefer Gunslinger 2 over Dying Light 3. I don't know who those people are, but I really want to find them and have a word with them. Now in all seriousness, Gunslinger 2 would be great, but I could never choose it over a Dying Light 3. Now we got a big question by the user Rotten Tomato. In short, he asked if there would be any plans to extend Dying Light 2's DLC cycle past the promised 5 years, and Timon's response was, depends on demand. If you want more, we will surely provide. The same response he gave to all the other people who asked about future DLC. He has also asked if DLC 2 will have any major lore drops, to which he responded, OMG, plenty. Third question was, is there any possibility for a Hellraid type DLC to be added to Dying Light 2 down the line? Now we got a very detailed response that says, I love Hellraid as a brand series idea, have a strong emotional connection to it. So if I happen to stay at my current position long enough, I'll definitely be advocating for it to happen. I see Dying Light Hellraid almost like COD Zombies, a cool mini-series we could be going back to in the future. Now what do you guys think about this? I wasn't a massive fan of Hellraid. It was cool, I guess, but I don't think I care enough about it to want it to return. I know there are a lot of fans of it though, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Now Manor and Noob asked, will there be any upcoming PvP modes? And we got no response to that one, unfortunately. Now there were tons of other questions about minor bug fixes and changes. We have confirmation that vibration of PlayStation DualSense controllers should be fixed, as well as speeding up things like the Volt Jump animation. There were many questions that were repeats of others or that went unanswered, although there was one more question that stuck out to me, and it was whether or not the Night Hunter will ever appear again after the pre-order Dying Light 2 comic where he died in an explosion. Timon left us with, I can't answer as this would double seal his fate. Could we get the return of the Night Hunter? I can only pray. And I'm definitely going to touch on that topic in a future video. If that video is up, you'll see it on the screen right now. Go watch it. But other than that, comment down below your thoughts, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.